Great cooks don't always make the best bakers. In fact, I really think that I might be one of the worst bakers ever, but I know that if I can make this pumpkin spice donut recipe, yes, I said pumpkin spice donuts, anybody can do it. It's really simple, and I think it's really delicious. I made it with my kids a couple of times while I was kind of playing around with this recipe, and they loved making it. And the fact that I am baking it instead of frying it means that it's less messy and it's also healthier, which I like, especially if you're cooking with kids and you're trying to set a good example for them. But you are gonna need a donut baking pan, and you're gonna wanna spray it so that the donuts pop out really easily. Okay, so I have a whole can of pumpkin puree, and instead of oil, I'm using applesauce. So here is a little tip for you guys. If you ever wanna cut down on the fat, you can use pumpkin puree or unsweetened applesauce. So I'm doing both applesauce and pumpkin puree, and it keeps it really, really moist, but it's a lot healthier. Plus the apples and the pumpkin, there's a lot of fiber, a lot of potassium, beta carotene, so lots of good healthy ingredients going on. Even though we're gonna have plenty of cinnamon sugar and it's gonna be indulgent, it's still gonna be healthier than if you're getting a box cake mix. All right, so then I have 3 eggs. And here's the thing with baking that I always found really annoying. You always start with your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients separate. And I hate the idea of getting so many mixing bowls dirty and all of the cleanup that comes with it. So I'm actually gonna do all my wet ingredients first, and then I'm just gonna add my dry ingredients and do a really good job whisking. And I'm gonna add my sugar and hope that it kind of melts a little bit while we are whisking. So you don't need a ton of sugar. I have a cup of sugar, but you don't need any more than that because we're gonna dip these in cinnamon sugar after they're baked, and so it's gonna be plenty sweet, don't worry. And then I eyeball my vanilla always. I guess it's just about like a teaspoon. And cinnamon. And of course, to make these pumpkin spice, you need the spice. I need the spice. I got pumpkin spice here, and this I am gonna measure because pumpkin spice, it can get overpowering, so I'm just doing about a teaspoon. All right, now I'm gonna whisk. Okay, so the only thing left that I have to add are my dry ingredients of baking powder. And baking powder, it's really important. Just keep it on hand. And now flour. Okay, so I thought, why not do it gluten-free and see how it turns out, see if I really miss the regular flour. I have to say, I love this cup for cup. It really is cup for cup, just like you would use regular flour. And I totally forgot the salt, so. Salt, you always wanna use salt when you're doing something sweet because it kind of balances out the sweetness a little bit. Oh my gosh, you know what else you could do with this? If you added like another 3/4 of a cup, half a cup of flour to make this even thicker, you could make this into churros. That would be awesome. But those, come on, you definitely have to fry those. Baked churros, no thank you. All right, so this is the consistency you're looking for. You want it to be like a batter, and you want it to stick to your whisk. Okay, because you want them to be like nice and cakey. All right. So I'm actually gonna pipe it into a bag, but I never have piping bags because I'm not a baker. And so I'm just gonna use like a really big Ziploc bag. I'm flipping it over so that it's not messy. And I'm gonna put it inside a bowl, okay? And now I'm gonna fill it. So I'm just snipping off the top, or that corner, and now I can start piping. Okay, so now, super important, you wanna take your finger and just make sure that this opening at the top, like the little donut hole part, is not covered by the dough. Oh, look at this. All right, so those bake for about 18 minutes, and while we wait patiently and have a cup of coffee, I'm gonna make the cinnamon sugar mixture. So I have sugar, and I'm gonna add some cinnamon to it. And then I just eyeball the cinnamon. I like a lot of cinnamon. And then here I have some milk. just like low-fat milk, whatever milk you have. And I'm gonna add some powdered sugar. And I'm gonna make a slurry, and because these are baked, we don't have like oil. You know, traditionally you would have a donut and it's been fried in oil, and so then you can glaze it or you can roll it around in cinnamon sugar and it's all gonna stick. But what I found when I made these was, because they're baked, it doesn't have anything to stick to. So I dipped it in this powdered sugar and milk slurry, and then I had something for it to stick to before I dunked it into my cinnamon sugar. So here is our gluten-free pumpkin spice donut with all of that yummy, crunchy cinnamon sugar on top. I think this makes the perfect breakfast with a cup of coffee hanging out with kids. It'd be even better as a dessert with Irish coffee once the kids are asleep. So make sure that you give these a try and come back and join me in the kitchen another time. I'm Roni Proter with Dinner Reinvented, and I'll see you guys later.